Look who's back. Joining us here once again, Opa, our buddy Pavlo is back with us here on the Jim Master Show, Celebrity Talk Show series. Welcome back, Pavlo.
Yes,
Good to see you.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
The pleasure is all mine. I want to let the audience know, because we are coming at them live right now, and we're here in the New York area, and you're in beautiful Florida, but we have an audience that is international. So we've got lots of people watching around the world. They're all excited. They're commenting. For those of you who don't know, Pavlo and I have known each other for a long time. Matter of fact, we met through PBS, which you guys know I've been affiliated with for many, many years as a host. And Pavlo has been very good to PBS and vice versa, with several concerts that have been real hits on public television in America and Canada. And we've had opportunities where I've interviewed him on public television, have also been to the meets and greets, greeted a lot of the fans, and have also attended many a Pavlo concert, which when they are in your area, grab the tickets, folks, because you're going to want to go. He is really, really on fire. And so are the guys. It's really a fantastic evening. But we've had opportunities also to go to the concerts, welcome him on stage, interview him in the studios. There is his lovely wife, his better half, Sandra. I've had an opportunity to also meet the guys and go out to eat with the guys and compare notes and toast and just have a great time. Whenever you're hanging with Pavlo, you're going to have a good time, and he makes sure you have a good time. His wife, Sandra, is really beautiful inside and out. She's a fabulous person. And again, I've been to many, many of the concerts, and Pavlo gets you involved. Sometimes he gets off that stage and he dives into the audience and he gets you going. If you get tickets to a Pavlo concert, just let me tell you, you will never be disappointed, because it's great music. It is really, really invigorating. It's passionate. There's a lot of love, and he loves his fans and he loves his audience, and he's a master at what he does. He's an internationally acclaimed Greek-Canadian guitarist, Mediterranean specialist, and boy, is he good. And he's one of the nicest guys on the planet. This is his third time back with us here on the Jim Masters Show. First, we met through PBS. We've stayed in contact. A lot of you guys that watch our show know that a lot of the PBS folks, Celtic Woman, Celtic Thunder, all the different folks that I've interviewed on television have been on the Jim Masters Show as well. Pavlo is one of our favorites. So good to have you with us. And boy, the years go by, huh?
They sure did. I just realized I need a haircut. Oh, my God.
Well, you mean you want to go back to that? Is that what you're saying?
Perfect. I haven't had a concert in a month, so I gotta cut my hair.
You're relaxing, right?
As well,
So what are you doing? You're painting the ceilings, cleaning out closets, doing domestic stuff?
No, I'm going for a coffee every day and just hanging out, enjoying a little bit of downtime. That's all.
Which is really, really nice. How have you been since we chatted last? A lot of crazy stuff going on in the world, and we're all adapting and being flexible. And you're always touring and on concerts, and you've done major television specials as well. How are things? How's the family? Say hello to everybody for me.
Yeah, I will. Everything's great, Jim. I'm just plugging away, man. I mean, I've been basically touring since 1998. That's all I do. That's all I've ever done, and that's probably all I'm gonna ever do, because I don't know how to do anything else. So I've been blessed. After all these years. The fans still come out to the concerts, bigger than ever, which I can't believe, to be honest with you. After all these years, all the shows are almost sold out all the time. I mean, it's humbling. It's humbling, because for me, really, what is my mission in my life? My life is simple. I'm just trying to spread my music to as many people as I can. That's it. That's why I'm here, and I get to meet a lot of beautiful people along the way. And they've blessed me with letting me do what I love for a living. Like, how lucky am I? Really.
We have smashed several a dish or
Oh yeah,
two
I
in the
love breaking
yeah,
plates, by the way.
yeah. But what I was telling Pavlo beforehand was, usually when he comes to the television studios, we end up smashing the dishes, the Pavlo dishes. He's got his own dishes with his own name on it.
Yeah.
Then we smash the Pavlo dishes and we say, "Opa." But with this economy and this inflation, he can't do those dishes anymore. It's got to be just throwing paper plates in the air.
Of course, they cost too much.
That's just dishes. That's such a tradition. For those watching, when did that tradition begin in Greek culture of the smashing of the dishes? Because it's a real positive thing. It's a celebratory thing.
Wow, that I don't know, to be honest with you, and I think it's more of a North American thing than it is in Greece. But honestly, it's really just enjoying the moment. When we say opa, opa simply means like hooray. So please, I urge you at home, if you've never broken a dish intentionally, when you break it by accident, it has a different feeling to it. But when you break a dish on purpose, when you break a plate on purpose, it feels fantastic.
Right? Exactly. Yes.
Please try it at home.
Nobody yells at you. Nobody gets mad. It's all on purpose and it's all intentional.
All the negative energy, all the bad stuff leaves your body and you feel invigorated. You feel amazing. That's why I'm so happy every day. I break about
I know.
5 a day.
I know. So how is your daughter? How is lovely
Fantastic.
Sandra? Everybody doing well there?
Everyone's doing great. Yeah, yeah. My daughter's both my daughters doing great.
Yeah,
Sandra is fantastic. Everything is great. Honestly, I cannot complain. I just finished a whole series of concerts, a little bit of a break, and then we're back on to some more shows in when is it? April and May.
that's
So yeah,
right.
it's all good. It's all good. Working
So
on my 5th television show for PBS.
you
Oh,
are. Oh, cool.
cheers.
Oh, yes. Look at
Yeah,
that. Look at the size of that glass. He put his order in just before he went live, folks.
for some
That
reason,
looks
it tastes better in this glass, Jim. I don't know why, but it tastes better in this glass.
well, he may be Greek, but it is St. Patrick's Day weekend, so he's toasting all the Irish out there
I
too,
sure
right?
am. All my Irish brothers and sisters.
Absolutely right. What's really cool? Like I said, having gone to several of your concerts, you're not just on stage performing, and you guys are so tight, and the music is fantastic, and the song selections and everything else, and just the whole presentation is on fire. But you then get the audience involved. You get them really engaged with your presentations, with your concerts. Tell us about why that's important to have that play back and forth with the audience, because that is one of the signatures of going to a Pavlo concert
Yep.
is get ready to be involved, right?
Yeah, yeah. For me, I guess listen. I was born in Canada to Greek parents, and I grew up in a very typical Greek festive household, where music was always playing. We all danced around the house. Not that we were professional dancers, but we weren't afraid to move, And so I basically carried that spirit, that positive energy onto the stage as I became an entertainer. And for me, concerts are more about than just the music. It's about the experience. It's about being in a room together. I mean, that room might have 2,000 seats or 500 seats, however big the venue is. But we are still essentially in a room together having a great time. So for me, I want to get I jump out, as you know, Jim, I jump out into the audience and um, I play for people right in their seats. Sometimes I'll dance with someone. It really is that kind of a concert. It's about enjoying the moment, enjoying each other's company. It's about the music. It's about the experience. It's about sharing memories. It's about making memories. That's a Pablo show. Just good, old fashioned, feel good music, positive energy. That's what the concerts are about.
They really are. And you've surrounded yourself with some really terrific talent. They're great people too, but they give 110% just like you do. And again, you've really surrounded yourself with some fantastic people. How did you put everybody together?
Mhm. Well, with my band, they're musicians that are part of the family. I mean, we I don't change musicians. I have had personnel changes over the years. Obviously, I've been touring for 30 years, but I don't they become part of the band. So, Gino Maurizio is still with me. He's been with me since 2000. So what are we now? 25 years. The
Wow,
percussion.
I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah, Gino Maurizio, the percussionist, has been with me for 25 years.
Wow.
Curtis Freeman, they just saw in that pic. Curtis has been with me for at least 12 years. Yeah, my bass player. My latest member, Eddie Payton, even though he's my newest member, he's already been with me for 5 years. It's a family on the road. It's a family on stage, because when listen, they're great. They're all great musicians. There's a lot of great musicians out in the world, of course, but when you have great musicians together with camaraderie, together with well-intended, like wanting to perform your heart out every night, together with the right chemistry, that becomes a great concert. And that's what these band members are about. We're all in it together to perform and have the greatest show of our lives every night, really.
Greece is a beautiful place, and I've had an opportunity through my television work to visit, and we even went to a place that's a little bit more remote than most people don't know about, Samothraki Island, which was
Samothraki.
really beautiful. We got a chance to spend time with a family, and we actually followed the family and cooked with the family and went out on the boats, and they fished in the North Aegean Sea they have a restaurant too. So they cooked everything that they caught in the sea, and it was just really absolutely beautiful. What do you think it is about Greek culture, Greek music, Greek food, the Greek spirit, and the beauty of Greece that captivates people, of which you're very good at reflecting through your art, through your performances, through your music, Pavlo?
I honestly, in one word, authentic.
Mm-hmm.
Being authentic. The Greek civilization, as many people have been around for thousands of years, not hundreds, thousands. Akrotiri, which is a settlement on the island of Santorini, is over 4,500 years old, as one example. The Acropolis, over 4,000. So the culture's been around a long time, and I think it has stayed around a long time because of just being authentic, being real, being very close to the land, close to the sea. Even if you come to today's time period, still eating local for the most part. The food is always fresh. Samothraki, as you said, an incredible island, great, great cuisine there. I mean, it's about each other's company, being together, being positive, helping one another. There's a Greek word that's called philotimo. Honor, friendship, all of that. Just being the best person that you can be and trying to help each other. The Greek hospitality is known worldwide as one of the most incredible experiences you'll ever have. And there's a reason for it, because it's spectacular. I've been all over the world, man, and I love all the places. But I tell you, when you land in Greece, you feel like you're in paradise. You really do.
You do. And for those watching, maybe learning about Pablo for the first time, you've seen him on, again, television in your home on PBS with the
Yes.
4 PBS TV concert specials, over 15 albums, 20 plus years, and renowned award-winning recording artist, performer, and songwriter too. I know we always emphasize the incredible musicianship, being an incredible guitarist, but the songwriting aspect of you, which is very important too. Tell us about the songwriting and why you love penning the great music as well, Pavlo.
Well, for me, it's all about the songs. I mean, my TV shows, my albums. Excuse me.
It
Um,
chokes you up, doesn't it? Just thinking about it.
the wine is actually no.
The
So
wine.
it's the nucleus of what I do. I started playing guitar at the age of 10. I started writing songs at the age of 12. this is how I express myself, and I'm very, very passionate and very proud of the music that I've composed over my lifetime. That's really what it's all about, Jim. There's a lot of great players, but for me, it's about the music. It's about the song. It's about my original music. Of course, I'll play a couple of classics, every now and then, like. Never on Sunday, of course. I mean, but all the music, 99% of what I perform is my own music, and that's why the journey is so special for me. When I go out, my last PBS special was on the island of Santorini in Greece. So when I go out and do these shows, the amount of work, I mean, that one took me 7 years to put together. I mean, it's mind-boggling. 7 years to put that show together. And the stuff that I had to go through, I mean, oh my God. But the point is, it's all worth it. Why? Because I get to play my music on television, on stage, and I get to share it with the world. And that's why it all makes sense to me, because it's my music,
I remember too, in the times I've had the pleasure of interviewing you on television, on PBS specifically, the times where you've shared the excitement about other specials that you were going to be working on, like this one here, Guadalajara, live in Guadalajara. Another there we are in the studio having a phenomenal time, once again, breaking more dishes, but another terrific one. And what was really cool is, as you did each special, you would be very excited about and sort of letting us know behind the scenes what it takes to put the specials together and all the work, because you're a stickler for making it look good. You invest as much as you can, and you surround yourself with the best people. I mean, the camera angles, the shots, the lighting, the sunsets, just the beauty and warmth of it. People that are similar to that would be like what Bocelli does, Andrea Bocelli or Andrea Rieu, where it's just so well produced and high end. Your specials are just like that as well. You don't leave any stone unturned in terms of how you want it to look and sound, which I think is a testament to your passion for it all.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like Santorini took 7 years to put together. I mean,
7 years.
They don't happen overnight. So when these things are well thought through, I think of all the details. Of course, I'm always trying to make sure that my music is best represented by the imagery that people see behind me. So with Santorini, it made so much sense because, visually, I think my last special really hit the mark in terms of what if my music had a visual to it, that's what it would look like, that kind of thing, So for me to be on the cliffs of Santorini with the Aegean Sea behind me, of course it feels great. but yeah, I mean, I'm a stickler. We did the show twice over 2 days, multiple camera angles, weeks and weeks in the editing room. I mean, this is incredibly boring stuff if people really want to know. Usually after every show, I'm in the editing room about 12 hours a day, minimum, probably more, for weeks on end till it gets done. I can't stop until the thing is completed. That's just the way I work. So yeah, I'm really a stickler for detail and just want to make it the best that I can with the resources that I have,
Which is the bottom line. And what I love about the music too is it is considered Mediterranean music. Tell us about the vibe, the feel, and what encompasses, from your perspective, Pavlo, Mediterranean music.
Well, Mediterranean music is just basically a combination of being influenced by my Greek heritage. And then combining my love for, rumba and Latin rhythms. And then my love for, you know, more like bouzouki-ish sort of oud line, you know, using Hizaz scale, you know, using Hizaz scales, combining all that stuff to what they call Mediterranean. But really, honestly, it's like a technical term. I call it feel-good music. That's what it is. It's feel-good music. Woo! Opa!
Opa, that's what it is. I tell you, it is feel good music, and everybody feels good when they go to the concerts themselves. When you were growing up, like you said, Greek parents, grew up in beautiful Canada, and we love our friends and our neighbors in Canada. We have a lot of viewers in Canada. We have a lot of viewers actually all through North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, all over. But specifically growing up in Canada, when you think about, you know, the music itself and what you put together, who early on were some of those influences just in your taste in music when you were coming up the ranks? Who are some of those artists, some of those performers of any genre that you were inspired by, Pavlo?
Oh man, it's all over the map. Obviously, it started with the Beatles, like everyone. But then I got into classical music. I got into flamenco. Loved Paco De Lucia. Um, Sabicas. Then loved rock neoclassical guitar players like Steve Vai, Yngwie Malmsteen. Loved blues guitar. Love Joe Bonamassa these days. He's incredible. I love anyone that is authentic to their craft, you know. And so that I love all the genres. You know, it depends on who. If you move me, you move me. You know, Roy Clark, one of the best guitar player, fiddle players, banjo players ever. You know, Roy Clark influenced me a lot. I love them all. You know, Chet Atkins, for goodness sake. I mean, it just, the list goes on and on. Tommy Emmanuel in more modern times. You know, a lot of great players, man. You know, and for me, just to be, and I know most of these fellas that, or at least I've met most of these fellas that I just mentioned. I'm humbled. I'm humbled to be in that area, in that stratosphere with these guys where we're all playing the same venues, and I get to meet them. Sometimes I collaborate with some of these fellas. I mean, it's been a real humbling career, and I'm just starting. Got a lot more years ahead of me, Jim.
A lot more. He's a young kid. He's got lots more juice inside. What about film scores and commercial work? Have you had those opportunities? Has that been something you've looked at as well?
Yeah, I've never sat down to score something specifically, but I have dozens of songs because I've written thousands. I've recorded hundreds of songs, like 500, 600 songs recorded. And these songs are everywhere. I have songs in commercials. I have songs in movies. I have songs in TV shows. I mean, the list goes on forever. Yeah. So that's
cool.
my sort of, involvement in that world. I mean, I am on TV, and I like my music is, but it's more just licensed from TV. You know, like for example, there was a show called "So You Think You Can Dance." I don't know if you remember.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
It was a few years back, and one of the kids just was a fan of mine. So the producers of the show called me and say, "Hey, he wants to dance to one of your tunes. Can we, license the tune?" Of course. So that's how I get it. Like I don't necessarily go after it. I just get requests, and I'm always humbled. And of course, I always would love to, have them use my music. In any case, that's it's an honor. It really is.
It is, absolutely. Like I said, you've got some terrifically talented, super talented musicians and friends that join you. Are there people that you would love to collaborate with? That
Of course, Sting.
Sting,
Yeah.
yes.
Let's just get it out into the ether. I want to collaborate with Sting.
Sting.
And why? Because first of all, I respect him immensely for his writing, and he's just one of those perfect artists that was able to gain popularity and be, very famous on a huge level in popular music, as we call it, but with sophistication. Just that perfect balance of a great musician, great band, sophistication in his melodies and his progressions, but yet still able to reach a very large audience. I would love to collaborate with him for sure.
How cool would that be, huh?
Oh, I'd be beyond the moon. I mean, honestly.
Have you sent him your demo reel?
I haven't because,
Yeah.
I think if it's going to happen, the stars will align. I'll just put it out there and hopefully they'll align. That's all.
Exactly right. The concert itself, like you said, you're on a little brief, break in between dates, which is why I'm so glad that you were able to squeeze in some time with us here on the Jim Master Show. You're such a great friend, and you're so good with doing that. You're so generous with your time. For folks who haven't been to a Pavlo concert yet, the new run of shows and the dates that you do have coming up, how is it tweaked? How is it different? What can they expect? What's going to happen?
Yeah, well, I mean, so if you go to my website, pavlo.com, obviously Pavlo with a V. There you go. Perfect. That has all the concerts there. And my shows, honestly, they're really about, so, I have a core band that's always with me, Gina Maurizio on percussion, Eddie Payton on guitar, Curtis Freeman on bass. This is my core band. Leonidas Zafidis on bouzouki. And then, I'll have guests that will join me anywhere in the world. Depends where I am. I have friends in almost every city. I don't know. I have friends in every city that I visit anywhere in the world. So I could have a guest tenor. I could have a guest soprano. I could have a guest violinist, a trumpet, a sax. I mean, an oud player, whatever is available. So every show is different, if I do 7 shows in a row and you saw me every night, every single show would be different. Still based on my music, but I'll have different guests, different songs. There's never a set list. I don't have any set lists in my concerts. I know that's crazy, but I don't. I just play whatever, I've got so much music. I just play whatever I want to play at that moment, that very moment. Isn't that what live music is supposed to be? Spontaneous, original, and just like making every night special.
What inspires you? Are you always observing life and feeling things? And then are you always, like, for example, when you do have a minute of inspiration, something's happening. And I always use this reference because a lot of artists who have come through the show have said, oh, yeah, that's how I do it too. Melissa Manchester has been a wonderful guest and friend several times on the show. And one of the times we had an epic conversation, she said, well, Jim, when I asked her, what inspires you to create these legendary, iconic songs that people still love today? And she said, well, sometimes I have no idea. Sometimes I could be walking across the room, or I could, maybe waking up out of sleep or what have you, and just something hits me. I get an inspirational moment. And what I do is I run right to that piano. I have a recorder sitting next to the piano. I press record quickly, and whatever is flowing through me, I will play out on the piano keys and record it so I have it fresh as that inspiration is happening. And then I'll take it and I'll work through it and review it and then put it together from there. How about you? What inspires you, and what happens when you get those kinds of inspirational moments? Do you run to the guitar? Do you run to the instrument?
Yeah, very similar. So I travel a lot. So unfortunately, I don't have my instrument with me all the time. So when I get inspired, it's usually when I move, whether it's an emotion of being happy, sad, exciting, being melancholic, being courageous. I mean, whatever it is that moved me in a certain way, hearing a story. That's usually when I get creative. And that could be anywhere. That could be walking through an airport, with no instrument in hand. So what I do basically is when that initial creative spark comes, I take out my phone and I sing the melody, the riff, the progression, the rhythm, whatever it is. I sing that into my phone. I just tape it. I mean, back in the day, this is crazy, but it's true. Back in the day, I used to carry a little Walkman. For those kids out there, they're like below 30 years old. It's a cassette player.
Yes.
And I used to record things on that.
Yes.
So I would have dozens of like cassettes in the house as a kid that I would, where was that sound? Yeah, it's on this cassette, it's on that cassette. Now it's much easier. I just take out my phone, I record it on my memo, my voice memo, and then so because it's important to like you're saying with the other example, it's important to capture that original creativity on the spot, and then from there, once I have that melody, I just sing it out. Once I have that, when I'm ready to record an album, I'll go back to my bank of original creative sparks of ideas, and then I'll start composing songs out of them. But at least I know the melodies came from a real place. I'm not the kind of writer that will sit down and just say, "Today I'm going to write a song." Like, I don't do that. I mean, some people do, and that's fantastic, but I don't. I only write music, I only write ideas when they come to me. Sometimes they come in flurries. Sometimes in a week I'll have 20 ideas. And then sometimes I don't have an idea for 4 months. So it's not something that, it's just something you collect. I have a data bank. I've released 17 albums, and I still have enough ideas right now as I speak. You have enough ideas to write at least 5 albums, at least 5. But I do it when I feel I'm ready, that kind of thing.
How many different instruments do you play, Pavlo?
Honestly, I mean, because I write, like I'll dibble and dabble in almost anything, but I just play guitar. I wouldn't consider myself, I've got a piano here that I'll tinkle on, but I'm not a piano player. I'm not a bouzouki player, although I can play the bouzouki. I'm not a mandolin player, but I can play the mandolin. But really, it's just the guitar. It's just the guitar.
What was it about the guitar that sort of tickled you early on?
It just changed my life. I'm going to play you Café Casoria. That's a song that I wrote inspired by this little town in the northern part of Greece where my parents came from called Kastoria. Actually, where I actually did a PBS special called Pavlo Live in Kastoria. But yeah, man, it's a beautiful journey. It's a tough journey. It's not for everyone. But I consider myself really lucky. I really do.
What's the give us a taste of that? Because when people see television specials, when they see the fantastic concerts, they're seeing the results of all the blood, sweat, and tears, all the work that's gone into it. What are some of those points sometimes that are tough that you do have to get through, that you have to trudge through? So then when people do watch and they come and they get tickets to the shows or they watch on TV, they can sit back and enjoy, not have to think about any of that part. But what are some of those? What's it like putting it all together?
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, if we take the last special, Santorini, excuse me, I had a crew of 50 people. And, remember, Santorini is an island. So I had to fly in or ship in these people with, 7 massive trucks. Everything, if anyone saw the show, that stage in Santorini, there was no stage. It's just a flat piece of land where they land the helicopters. I created the whole stage. I brought in the stage and the lighting, even the chairs. It all had to come from the mainland. So, I was getting calls like, 3 days before saying, "Oh my God, the ship is overweight. We got to ditch 30% of the stage." I'm like, "What?" What do you do at 2:00 in the morning? It's either 30% less of the stage or no stage. So these are the kinds of things that you got to deal with. The day of the concert, the first night, the wind, we were up on a cliff, really high cliff overlooking the Aegean in Santorini. And the wind was so strong that the lights were moving. And I mean, it was just, craziness, but you get through it and you play like it's the last concert of your life. And when you do that, somehow it always works out, Jim.
It does.
It works out. Yeah.
It's kind of amazing, isn't it, how it all does work out in that way? Yeah. And what I love too is you are a true world artist, of course, famous for bringing everybody to their feet, whether they're home watching on TV or they're at the concerts themselves. How do you define, from your perspective, what a true world artist actually is?
Well, a true world artist is someone that travels the world. You know, listen, I started off in my basement in Toronto, as a teenager. And then you start playing, your local city, your local clubs in your city. Then you start playing the surrounding area. Then you start going across the country. Then you go to the country south of you, America. Then you go to some country south of that, Mexico. Then you go to Europe. You go to England, Germany. You go to Asia. I've played in Japan, in South Korea, Singapore. A world artist is someone who travels the world playing music influenced by his travels, by his world. Of course, being of Greek heritage, my influences, I've got flamenco, Latin, Greek influence. But over the years, I've incorporated so many different types of sounds and instruments and scales, things that I've learned along my travels. That's a world artist, I think. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I kind of just made it up as we're talking now, but it kind of makes sense.
It do.
I mean, if you stay in one town, I don't know if you can call yourself a world artist, right?
Yeah, exactly. You have also, which I know I've mentioned before, and I think we've even mentioned it on television, you've traveled the world as you've just described. What are some of your favorite places? You probably love it all. I just could see you as somebody that wherever you go, you learn from it, you soak it up, you meet the people, and you make the best of whatever it is. But do you have some places that are your favorites that you've been to? And are there places on the Pavlo list
Yeah.
that you would still love to visit and perform at that you haven't touched quite yet,
Oh,
Pavlo?
many places I haven't been to. I mean, we need about 2,000 lives to be able to get to every place in the world. But yeah, listen, I mean, I've always enjoyed performing in South Korea. Just I have a huge fan base there, and they always welcome me with open arms. But in the same respect, I also love playing in my hometown in Toronto, Canada. Places that I'd love to play that I have not played. Many. Oh my God, I'd love to play Dubai. I would love to play in Argentina. I would love to play in Brazil. I mean, I've had many offers over the years to play in these various countries. Just the timing has never worked out. But yeah, I mean, there's many places that I would still like to get to.
You mentioned having a big fan base in South Korea, as you do here in America and Canada as well. What are some other places where there's sizable fan bases? Of course, Greece as well, but some others where maybe even you're surprised, like, wow, a lot of fans are there too.
Listen, I mean, I'm surprised when anybody shows up, to be honest. Even like when I play in a place like Los Angeles, which I have a huge fan base there.
You do.
Um, you know, in LA, there could be, I don't know, 100 concerts in any given night, from small to very large shows, right? So when I do a concert there and 1,000 people show up to see me, man, am I humbled, like, so I love it all, Jim. Honestly, then I can play in, I don't know, Lincoln, Nebraska. And I
Right.
love it just as much, because you go there, you don't think anybody's going to show up, and all of a sudden the venue's packed, and 700 people have showed up, or whatever the capacity is. And that's a lot to do with PBS. Let's be clear. PBS has changed my life. PBS in America airs my television shows in the various markets, and that has really helped my career grow in America. So I owe a lot to PBS. And in fact, since we're talking about PBS, I can tell you that the network has asked me to work on my 5th show, and they asked me to go back to where I was from, Toronto, Canada. So my 5th PBS special will be filmed in Toronto, Canada.
How cool is
Heard
that?
it first right here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we're in the New York area, so it's really a hop, skip, and a jump up
Oh,
to
absolutely.
Toronto.
And I'll mention the details in a few days. Like, we haven't nailed exactly how it's all going to work out, but it's getting very close. But to let you know what I'm trying to do, and I never make my life easy, Jim. It's very easy for me just to rent a theater. Like in Toronto, I play a theater called Massey Hall. That's normally where I play. It's like Canada's Carnegie Hall sort of thing.
Right.
That's where I've been playing for 20 years. And it's very easy for me just to rent that theater and do the show there. But no, I've got to come up with a more logistically challenging situation. And what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to close off the entire street where I was born. It's called the Danforth in Toronto. It's Greek Town in Toronto. So we're going to close the street down and have a massive Pavlo concert where we're expecting between 50 to 60,000 people to show up right in the middle of Toronto, outside in the summer, and it's going to be spectacular. So that's kind of where the next one is going to be and how it's going to happen.
How cool and special is that?
Yeah.
That is amazing. Well, definitely keep us posted on that. We have our contact, because I'd love to, as you get closer, share that and promote that as well. And maybe we can even come up to Toronto, because again, we're just here in the New York area here, so we can it's a hop, skip, and a jump up to Toronto. And we love our Canadian friends and our, relatives we have up there and colleagues we have in Canada as well. And if you need an interviewer or a host during the taping, here we are.
There you go.
Slip it in there. Be happy to chat with you on the tube, my friend.
And there's another thing I can tell you, Jim, too. And this is the first I'm saying this anywhere. And I've been in discussions with PBS as well on this.
That's exciting.
So what's going to happen?
It's well deserved too.
Yeah, thank you. But in addition to that, what we're doing for next summer, I've received thousands of requests of fans asking me, "Will you ever go back to play in Santorini?" Because everyone sees my TV shows from Santorini, but they'd love to go and see me there. So next year, I'm actually going to form a residency on the island of Santorini. I'm going to do one concert a week for the entire summer. So what we're doing is it's basically called Visit Greece with Pavlo. So every week I'm going to have a contingency of fans that are going to meet me in Athens. I know this is crazy.
This is awesome. Yeah.
What's going to happen is, and this will be announced in a couple of weeks. You can basically meet me in Athens and you spend a week with me. So you'll go to my favorite restaurants in Athens. We'll go to the Acropolis together, hang out. We'll go to my favorite cafes. Then we'll fly to Santorini together. You'll go to my favorite wineries. You'll go to my favorite beaches and cafes and restaurants in Santorini. And then at the end of it, I do a live concert in Santorini for all the fans that have joined me on that particular tour. So that's going to happen next year. And we're announced. So this is the first time I've ever announced this anywhere. And you're hearing it first live exclusively on the Jim Master Show. So
you're the best, my friend. You're the best. Well, we have the people here watching who absolutely love you too, and they're big supporters of our show and of you as well. And I mean, they're already saying, like Maureen in Arizona, field trip to Athens, y'all. How fun will that be?
Yeah. Well, that's just about anyone that's wanted to visit Athens but has never had the opportunity or doesn't know how to go about it. Come to Athens with Pavlo. You'll have the best time in your life. Really, and that's what it's about for me. Again, Jim, it's about enjoying each other's company. Of course, my wife will be there. My daughter will be there. It's a family affair, as you know. And we're just hanging out. And my fans, I call them fans. They're my friends. They're my friends. They really are. And because I've received so many requests, thousands of requests over the last 5 years, I never thought I'd ever do this in my life. But hey, why not? Come hang out. It'd be an honor and a privilege for me to introduce Greece to many of you. And at the end of the week, we do a private, exclusive concert for everyone in attendance. Why not, right? Life's too short, man.
Life is too short. Wow. We'll have to get the Jim Master Show over there. We'll broadcast this episode over there. How cool would that be, huh?
Oh, the little Greek coffee.
Coffee, right?
Tomato, olives. Feta cheese, fresh bread.
I'm an ocean person. I swim.
Take a break, jump into the ocean.
Into the ocean. I remember swimming in that beautiful North Aegean Sea, and it was gorgeous. And you got to swim, surf, boogie board, sail it, walk it. I grew up out east on Long Island, so surrounded by water, and we have a lot of family in Florida. I'm the first one when we visit them. Let's go to the ocean, and they're like, the ocean, we see it all day long. But we're like, let's go to it, let's get in it. And then you got to drag me out, the sun's setting. There was one time I was in the ocean, in the Atlantic there, and I just love it. Yeah, you literally, I've been like way since a kid. I just have this love affair with the ocean. And they're like, okay, we're packing up, we're going. Let's go, Jim. Or I'm the fifth James. So Jimmy, come on, Jimmy. And they're like, we're going to go now. And I'm like, well, why are we leaving? You're like a kid. Why are we leaving? They're like, well, it's, look at those clouds. It's Florida. It can rain in 10 seconds, but look at those clouds. It's starting to rain. I'm like, rain? I'm in the ocean. I'm already wet. But how cool is that?
Rain makes it even more special.
What does Pavlo like to do separate from music? What's some other interests that people might not know about Pavlo? Hobbies, interests, things that you like to partake in, whether it's sports or nature walks or whatever it is, separate from the music, which I know is next to the family, the first love. What are some other things that keep your juices flowing?
I try to be as physical as possible. I walk every day. I used to run, but I walk every day. I try to play a little bit of tennis. Just trying to keep my body fit and feeling good. It's more mentally. It's about being mentally focused than anything else. And I love my coffees, Jim. Every day, doesn't matter where I am, anywhere in the world. I get out of my hotel and I find a local proprietorship coffee shop, and I enjoy local coffee. And it's not just for the coffee. I love coffee like everybody else, but it's about actually meeting some locals, and meeting people that are from that area that have interesting stories to tell me, And then that night I go and do my concert, and I have a story to tell because I've met someone wonderful in the afternoon having a coffee. So I do a lot of that. And my fans know that. I mean, we seek out a local cafe operator, owner in every city that we're in. So that's part of what we do. That's got nothing to do with the music. It's good to do that because music I live and breathe all day and all night. So it's good to, change focus and do a few other things. And the love affair of coffee and finding great coffee shops in every city has been a really cool thing that we do on the road,
Which is really cool. Do you like to cook?
I love to eat. I think that it's very romantic. I wish I could cook, but I can't. I've tried a few times. I'm terrible at it. I mean, I can make I can boil water. I mean, I can do that kind of stuff. I can make a peanut butter sandwich, but I can't cook, man. I wish I could. That would just make me, make me feel very good about myself. But I don't cook, so.
But he knows where to get the food. He knows where to find the good places for the food. That's really your daughters, like you said, they're doing well. Any musical interests on their behalf?
They both play a little bit. But my older one is she's in digital media marketing now, and she's getting married in May. My younger one has dabbled in guitar, piano, and now she's into acting. She's full on into acting, screenwriting.
That's cool.
Yeah. She's really Viola. She's really.
Is she in LA or?
Oh, here in Tampa.
In Florida.
At schools here in Tampa. And then, of course, I have a lot of friends in the business industry. So I've been introduced to all kinds of people over our travels. I just want them to be happy, that's all. And I want them to do what they love, For me, I started playing this instrument at the age of 10. I didn't know anything about touring around the world. I didn't know anything about PBS television shows, making albums. All I knew that this guitar, when it's in my hands, it makes me feel good, And I understood that at the age of 10. And then to fast forward into life, I got to do what I love for a living, which still I pinch myself. I can't believe that I get to do what I love every day. And that's what I wish for my daughters. I wish for my daughters that they have that same opportunity to do what they love, and that's all. So I don't care what they do as long as they love it. And when you love it, you'll be great at it and you'll never feel like you've worked a day in your life, you know?
It's exactly right. You know, it does take a village. You're surrounded, as I mentioned, by an incredible team of people that help
Yes.
make the magic. One of those stars, of course, is your lovely Sandra, who's right there behind you, rooting for you all the way. Every time I've had the opportunity to meet her, she's right there by her side. She's always supporting. And like I said, we've had some fun times together out to eat, and we've had laughs post concerts and, you know, different shows. And there as the lovely Sandra. Uh, how did the two of you meet? I don't think I've ever asked that.
I can't disclose that. I'm just kidding. You know what? So I'll be
Sandra, Sandra, would you like to step in the room now or
yeah,
not?
no, she's not here. She's not here.
The
But she'll
glass
see
needs
this
to refill.
later. She'll see this later and have a few words with me. No, you know, honestly, I met Sandra. Um, this is a long time ago, when it's quite normal now, but I actually met Sandra online through a dating site, if you can believe it. I don't remember which one it was, but it was honestly just a stab in the dark. I just sort of got, and then it was never on those sites ever. And the first person I saw was Sandra's beautiful face. I
Hmm.
said, well, I would like to take this woman out for dinner. And that was it. I got a hold of her. We went out for dinner, and the rest is history. You know, at the end of the day, you've got to meet somebody one way or the other. Normally, it's through work. You know, in my kind of work, very difficult to meet people. I mean, I know a lot of people. I know thousands of people, but you know, it's very difficult to really meet people uh, on the road and on stage. But at the end of the day, you've got to meet them one way or the other. You know, and that's how we met, and it's been the best thing in my life, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, Merlin's watching in Canada. She wanted to know, she's watching in Toronto. Actually,
All right, on.
she wanted to know if you're a Maple Leafs fan.
Oh, well, of course I am. I know I live in Tampa, Florida, but I'm a Maple Leaf fan
Great.
through and through.
She also wanted to know if you have a favorite guitar, and
Of
if you
course.
do you name your instruments? Do you name
Yes.
your guitar?
It's a Pavlo guitar. There you go. Yeah. So
You actually have them, and there's been times, I believe, if I recall correctly, at concerts, somebody in the audience ends up sometimes with a guitar, right?
yes. Yes. So I have guitars. These guitars are made for me. They're Pavlo guitars. They're made from a luthier out of Canada called Godin. The company Godin in Canada makes these guitars. And what I do in most of my concerts, at the end of the night, after I finish the show, I give my guitar to someone in the audience. And it's called the gift of music. And so far, I've given away over 1,500 of these guitars to fans around the world. And I love it. I love it. So, do I name any particular guitar? I don't, because I play a different guitar every day. Still the same one, same model, but I change it every single day and I play a different guitar. So I love them all, but they're all called Pavlo guitars.
What is it about that particular guitar? So, like, for example, somebody's at a concert and they end up taking one home, which
Yeah,
I've seen you actually do that, and people are
yeah.
like blown away. They can't believe it. Tell us about the actual guitar itself.
Well, it's made by Godin, a very, very reputable manufacturer in Montreal, Quebec, in Canada. It's got, of course, the Greek keys, which, you know, is my Greek heritage represented there. It has a Fishman pickup system, which I love. Rosewood body, because I love the warm sound that rosewood creates for guitars. Solid cedar top, you know, that kind of stuff. A cutaway, because I like to play up high on the neck, you know, that kind of thing. Just the stuff that I love in the guitar. They were very kind to address that and put it into what we now call the Pavlo guitar. That's all.
1,500 of those have been given away so
Yeah,
far, my
probably
friend.
more. I mean, it's probably over 2,000. I don't know.
Wow.
At least that many, anyway.
I told you he's really generous in spirit and heart and soul, my friend. He really, really is. What drives you? Where do you get the excitement, the passion, and the continued thirst for all of it? Because, you know, I've been to several of the concerts. I've seen your energy. I've heard from a lot of people. You're all in. Where does that passion come from? And what are some of those blessings and joys in your life that keep driving you forward, my friend?
Yeah, you know what I think it is, Jim. I mean, I don't know. Listen, I love to play. I mean, I love to play. I think what it is that I started playing guitar for the truest, um, the most sincere and real reasons because I loved it. I didn't play guitar because I wanted to become rich. Believe me, you don't become rich playing guitar. There's a lot of other things you can do to make money. So I didn't start it to make money. I definitely didn't start it to become famous. I don't even know what that means, really, to be honest with you. I started playing guitar because I loved it. And 40 years later, I'm still here in front of you playing my guitar because I love it. And I think when you approach something like that, you're going to be successful. But what does success mean? Does success mean $20 million in the bank? Not for me. Success means I get to wake up every day and be extremely happy and extremely grateful. And that's why my passion continues. Like when I play a concert, whether it's in Tokyo, whether it's in LA, New York, Boston, Redding, California, I don't care where it is. When people come out and see me for a couple of hours, you can't understand how much I appreciate that. I never take it for granted. I know that you don't have to be there, but you are. And that's why I will play like it's my last show of my life every single night. That's the least I can do, when people come out and see my concerts, and that's why you'll see me. I'm always happy because I'm happy. I'm doing what I love.
Let me tell you, folks, it's very infectious. If you're having a rotten day, things just not going well, you go to a Pavlo concert. You go to a Pavlo concert and you just sit back, and he and the gang around him will take care of the rest. And again, I've had an opportunity to meet, his team, and they're all fantastic. You're like, it is like family, like brothers. I mean, it's really right.
There's no other way to do it because, like I said, my musicians are not pickup musicians. They're not giggers. These guys play with me everywhere and anywhere. You know what I mean? So when you have that, the level of performance is just up a notch, because you can anticipate each other because we've just done 100 shows in the last, 7 months or whatever. Right. So we're just cooking, we're trying different things every night. That's why every night is a different journey, and it makes it exciting for that night, so different guests every night, so, yeah, man. I mean, it's about really, truly about enjoying that moment in time, wherever we are on the planet, with everybody in that room, in that theater, I guess it's kind of old fashioned that way, but I like it, man. We just play our instruments, play our hearts out, and make new friends. That's it. Every night I make new friends.
That's what it is. Exactly. Yeah. And I've seen that in action, and always, always a blast and a pleasure. Do you want to play a little something for us as well? You've been sprinkling in some cool things. Do you want to play anything for us as well, my friend?
Oh, geez, I don't know. Here. Little 5D thing. I don't know what I was doing.
Nobody says Opa like you do. I've been in places that aren't even Greek, and I've said it. And I said, you know how I learned how to say that way? Yeah. Pavlo.
Well, I'm in the mood for breaking plays, but we'll say it for
right. Cheers. So cheers, my friend. So life is good. You're navigating it all, the ups and downs, the craziness, a lot of things thrown at us the last few years, and you've been navigating it, and you're you're in a sweet spot. You know, you've got a wonderful family, you've got your health, you've got friends, you love what you're doing. When you were, you know, that kid learning, did you ever think it would turn out this way and turn out to what it is, with all of these people around the world really not only loving what you do, but really respecting and appreciating what you do, as I have always done as well, Pop?
Jim, honestly, no, I had no idea. I really didn't. I mean, I started playing guitar because I loved it. I did my first concert in the school gymnasium at the age of 12, which I was in grade 7. So I don't know how I convinced the principal to let this little kid do a concert in the gymnasium where they played basketball. I had 200 people show up. Of course, they were all my cousins and friends and neighbors. Um, you know, it's been an incredible journey, and I never knew what was around the corner. All I knew is I enjoyed and I loved what I did. The fact that, you know, I've filmed 4 television shows around the world for PBS, 17 records, gold albums. Man, no, I never would have dreamed that that would happen to me, you know, but it did, and I'm grateful for it, man. I'm so grateful.
You are. I know you are. And that's the beauty of it. And that's one of the reasons why people love to be around your energy and listen to the music, because they know you're grateful and you have a big heart, great soul, and, you know, you give your all with it. And that's something I recognize. You know, I've interviewed so many people over the years on television and radio, not just PBS, but other places that I've been with over the years. Over 6,000 plus people, I was calculating the other day.
Wow.
And you really are a sweetheart of a guy, because you're the real deal, and you just want to have fun, and you want to take people away from their troubles, the chaos of life, and get them to have a good time. And I think that's the juice and the story of it all, right?
Yeah, yeah, it really is. You know, leave the outside world out for a couple of hours. Let's have a little escape. You know, that's what music is about, man. That's what concerts are about. A little escape from the crazy world for a few hours, you know.
Exactly right, my friend. That's what we try to do here at this show too, just to give people a place to come to get away from the news of the day and all the chaos. You are a real hoot, my friend, and it's always a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah,
Thanks for sharing some of those
I appreciate
cool. Oh, the pleasure is always mine. And I said, you know, last time I said we'll keep the porch light on for you. The porch light is always on for you. And thanks for sharing some of the exciting things you're working on, that you're putting together behind the scenes, that are coming up, and taking us down memory lane with some of the, you know, information about how you got where you got. Pavlo.com is the headquarters for everything, Pavlo. Go
Yes.
check it out. Concert dates, all kinds of cool stuff, merchandise, music. It is all there. And really love having you here, my friend. And everybody is saying some wonderful things. They're saying hello from all around the country here and around the world. Thanks for stopping by. It's always a pleasure, my friend. And
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Really, thank you. Great, always great conversation with you, and I appreciate the time to chat. That's all. So thank you for everyone listening, and we'll see you on the road. We'll see you on the road in your city.
or we'll be headed to Greece.
Well,
That really sounds so cool. People
That's
are already like, when?
exactly.
That's going to be awesome. Pavlo.com, gang, is where you go and you get updated on everything. As always, my friend, I hope you enjoyed the time with me as much as I absolutely have once again with
Absolutely,
you.
absolutely. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, brother. Thank you, and we'll see you guys again for sure.
Is there any sort of, not goodbye, because we never say goodbye, we say sort of see you later, any sort of a see you later type of thing you know in Greek?
Oh, like I see you later. Yeah, taleme, taleme, which means we'll talk.
We'll talk. You got it, my friend. We will. Best to the family. Come see us again. We'll see you around. Keep me posted again on Toronto and everything else that's going on. And spread the word about our series. Other folks you think would like to pop on, they're all welcome. And it's always a blast having you here. I'm glad that things are going well for you, my friend. And thanks for your generosity of time here on the Jim Master Show. We all really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Good to see you again. You take care, all right?
And you as well. You as well.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
The incomparable, the internationally acclaimed, and just all around great guy, Pavlo, here on the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. What a blast. He played a little bit for us as well. He also gave us some exclusive as far as some really cool things that he's working on. He's always working on something. I mean, he mentioned 17 albums. There's Gold, all these PBS specials, and just so much more appearances and everything else. And as you can see, maybe this is the first time, you're discovering him. We've known each other for years on public television, and he's been a guest 2 other times. This is Trifecta, 3rd time here at JMS, but maybe this is the first time you've discovered the artistry of this really talented artist, Pavlo. Go check out his music, get it all, get the DVDs, get the CDs, downloads, everything else. You can go to Spotify, everywhere else where music is. And it's really going to make you feel good. He's got music that's lively and gets your feet, kicked up, but he's also got music that is very endearing and very warm and very reflective. He's got it all. And he's the full package, and it's all incredible blend of various genres of Mediterranean music and much more in a contemporary pop style. Pavlo.com is the website. And again, really a treat to have him back on the show and update us and all the cool things. As I mentioned, we showed some of these photos earlier. These are from the collection, and we met each other on PBS, interviewed him multiple times, been to the concerts, did some, stage welcomes and stuff. And we've gotten together since then. And he's just really been somebody who loves what he does. And he shared it with us here on the show. And again, these are my own personal photos actually from concerts that I've been to, and of course interviewing him at the PBS studios all the time and just having a great time. And he's just as cool a guy and nice a guy and friendly a guy as what you see on TV or what you've seen on stage. And he's doing it for the right reasons, the love of it, the joy of it. And that's what it's all about, gang. And he's given away 1,500 of those guitars at his concerts and then some. How cool is that? Wow. I didn't realize, I've been to concerts where I've seen that happen, but I didn't realize he's given away that many of his own custom Pavlo guitars. He's got his own line of guitars, the Pavlo guitar, and cool stuff. Hope you enjoyed this, gang. If you did, certainly interact, say hello, let us know, drop a comment below in the comments section. This is fully archived on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. And for those watching on the YouTube channel, give this episode a thumbs up, click the like button, share this on your social media, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of episodes with celebrity friends and guests who've stopped by our show. You can binge watch all the past episodes. You can see this episode again, or if you joined us late, you can see it again in its entirety. And also drop a comment below, interact in the comments section below. When you do that, when you do that, it actually helps more people see these episodes when you actually not just chat in the chat room, which we love seeing that activity, but even after the show, when you're watching this later, or maybe right after you've seen the show, drop a comment in the comment section, because the platform, YouTube, they see that and they take the episode and they let more people see it. The algorithm, which is like this big washing machine that goes around, grabs the video and goes, wow, a lot of people like it. And then they shoot it out to more people. So when you click like and you share it and you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and when you leave a comment below, it helps the Jim Masters Show immensely. I know you hear so many people on this platform say that, but it actually does do that. It actually helps the actual show grow and be seen by more people, which means more great guests, more viewers, and the whole thing is just one big happy, lovely family. So do that for us. We would love that. Like, comment, subscribe, share. And if you do subscribe to the YouTube channel and you haven't yet and you do, click the little notification bell icon. Really important, because you'll get notifications about great shows and episodes like this and great guests like this as well, and surprises and so much more. So Good stuff, gang. I see Sherry and Merlin and Kathleen, some of our regular faithfuls. You may hear these names a lot because they're here through, fire and flood and snow and earthquake or whatever's going on. They are usually always here to the best of the capability. Sherry, Maureen, Merlin, Kathleen, Kaya is here. Good to see you, Kaya. I think we've met too, right? Through public television. It's good to see you, Kaya. And I know you're a big Pavlo fan as well. And so many great people that have been watching that are in the chat section. It's always nice to see everybody here. David Falk, good to see you, David, as well. All these great names that are here. This is awesome. And Paul Hunter, so great to see you as well. Paul, thanks for joining us here on the Jim Masters Show. And everybody that's watching all around the world. This is awesome. He's got a big fan base too. And, our show does. We've grown, we're approaching something like 5 years, which is unreal. At the time of today's show, if you're watching this years from now, this will be old news, but it's just really amazing. And we love yes, that's right, Kaya. We did meet. It's good to see you. And welcome to the Jim Masters Show, Lovity family. And you know me from seeing me on television throughout the years. Well, yep, it's the same Jim Masters you've seen on television. And it's good to see you. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. Take a look at all the past episodes. You guys can also follow us on social media, Jim Masters TV on Facebook and Instagram. We're there. And also on X. Keep abreast of not only what's happening at the Jim Masters Show, but I also share with you other things that I do in the world of television and radio and stage, other career-related things. Like we just returned from a big television project in Indiana and Chicago, which was amazing for my professional work in TV. And we just came back from Florida recently as well for some major television projects, multi-day projects as well. So I try to share not only some good news about what's going on here at JMS on the social media, but also other things that I'm involved in, projects, charity work, family events, different things like that. So come see us there as well. Wherever you are watching, we love having you here. And thanks for being a fan of the Jim Masters Show. And those of you who are a supporter through Super Chat, Super Emoji, Super Stickers, and also when the show's not live and you're just binge watching a past episode, there's a little heart icon on the YouTube channel. That's super thanks. Thanks for all of you that do that. That helps support this massive project called the Jim Masters Show. And we thank you for that. So what a great show. We thank our buddy, our dear friend, Pavlo, the incredible Pavlo, joining us. He was born in Canada. He's of fabulous Greek heritage, but he lives in sunny Florida. He's got it all, and he's a great guy. Good stuff. All right. I hope you enjoyed it. Interact. Let us know, gang. We're always having a good time with all of you. We love having you here. Did you see the episode that we had the time before this one? The last episode, we had an incredible guest. We had David Sanchez. David is one of the founding members of Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band. All those Springsteen songs that you've loved over the years, the originals, he's a part of that. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee. Talk about Sting. David has worked with Sting, Aretha Franklin, Patti LaBelle, Natalie Merchant, you name it. And he's got his own career. He was with us on our last episode, direct and live from Hawaii. And it was amazing. We shared some great music as well. We also have coming up another music icon. We do much more than just music. For those of you who love music, Ellis Hall from Tower of Power, an extraordinary epic guest, is coming up. For those that are watching live, he's going to be with us on Tuesday. And then if you love television and film, we have legendary actress and stunt woman from Star Wars and Bionic Woman and everything you can think of on television and film. Sandra Lee Gimpel is going to be with us. She has been on just about every show you can think of. Movies galore, blockbuster movies. with Jim Carrey and everybody you can think of. I don't want to give it all away, but she's coming up with us too. Just, some upcoming shows for those who are following us live here on the Jim Masters Show. So thanks for being with us, gang. It's always cool. It's always a pleasure to have you here at Levity Hall. We really, really appreciate all the time watching all the episodes. And thank you again, everybody. You can never say enough thank yous. There's a lot of work goes on behind the scenes to put all this together. It's become like a full-time job, even though this isn't my full-time job. It's become like it. And we thank you for your love and support. It means a lot. And come see us again. Don't forget to binge watch the past episodes if you like it as well. We'll see you on the next one. Love one another. Take care of one another. Parting is such sweet sorrow, but not here at JMS, because we don't say goodbye. We say see you later. So we will be back with you for an upcoming episode, and we're putting together some more great shows. Thanks for all the great comments and more great shows and more amazing guests coming up. Stay with us here on the JMS journey together at Levity Hall. We love having you here. Be well. Take care. Thanks for joining us. And come see us again here at JMS. Take care of one another. We love you. Cheers.